Good morning, beloved Sangha, and welcome to Jewel Ornament of Liberation series, the commentary with our Venerable Khenpo Tenzin. We'll begin today in the Yellow Guardian Buddhist Institute prayer book on page 4 and 5 with opening prayers. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Kajo lama namje da jong je da nan da na zera tamje da lama lapa la ye jiso zong lap san yon ten jam se nga la wang tin ri tong jin ri be ge le zor da so lo chu sun ro war sin je lap da sor chu lam da ro war sin je lap da so lam tru wa se war sin je lap da sor tru wa yi shi sun ja war sin je lap da sor kang ge tin jen da war jong ga pa me pa che me pa che pa me pa ta me pa Ong me ba ro me ba ta de de me du je me zhu ba ne je je den ba zo pe san je ma nam je dam ba de la xiang za du zhen je za ge la ma je je Gu zong du jie zhen lang da za da ge ju lang pe de da ge den ba dan sun je je dong la po jian zhe par sun je la de so. Many touch the later, my brothers and sisters. Today we are the perfection of diligence. The page number 191. We all Dharma practitioners, so we always have to understand that we have two benefits through Dharma practice, temporary benefit and ultimate benefit. Temporary benefit is in this life. We have great benefits. So we bring this benefit or we experience these great things or not through Dharma practice. It is in our hand. So through Dharma practice, we have a great benefit. It does not mean always like some food or clothes or some material things. But for instance, if we have some problems, of course, we have problems because we are in the samsara. So when we have some problems, if we recognize that these problems are impermanent, change, will disappear, sooner or later disappear. So if we understand that through realization of impermanence, and then we have less problems, less suffering. I mean, those sufferings and problems cannot affect strongly. And then another thing is we practice bodhicitta, always think well for other beings. So we forget self-grasping. So if we forget self-grasping, at that moment, I have this problem, I have these obstacles. We don't have like that. So in temporary benefit means we have some facing problems, but through the way of thinking, we can reduce those problems and sufferings. Then another way is we supplicate three jewels. First, we think, oh, there is a Buddha, there is a Dharma, there is a Sangha, or there is a Guru, there is a Yedam, there is a Rakini or Sangha or Rakini. Or we think there is a Dharmakaya, there is a Sambhogakaya, there is a Nemanakaya. So when we have some facing problems, we are not hopeless people. I mean, we have some hope in the mind. So we can share our problems with those three jewels. I mean, we give responsibilities to three jewels. Oh, I have this problem, so please, you should help me. Now it is time to help me. We talk to three jewels. Talk means we supplicate. So then generally we are going to keep happiness, happy mind. In our heart, if our heart is like a vase, then this vase is filled by afflictive emotions or nectars of happiness. It is also in our hands. So always we practice Dharma, and always we in the Vajrayana we say that wisdom wind. So wisdom wind means we generate compassion, loving kindness, and then practice generation stage, and then practice completion stage, and then meditate Mahamudara or Zopa Chimbo, and so forth. Then our heart is always healthy. So that's where it's very important. And then another way, the ultimate benefit means we should recognize our pristine awareness or intrinsic awareness. So Dharmakaya, if we try to search Dharmakaya beyond the mountains, we cross the rivers, thousands of rivers for searching Dharmakaya. We cannot find Dharmakaya anywhere, but Dharmakaya is in our mind. So there is a say, someone search elephant, but they keep elephant in their yard, but they search elephant in the forest. There is a saying like that. There is a saying like this. So we don't want to do like that. Dharmakaya is in our mind. Dharmakaya is in our mind. So we don't want to search Dharmakaya from outside. So then how to search Dharmakaya, how to find Dharmakaya from our mind is, first we are going to meditate. If we are not meditate, then we cannot find Dharmakaya. Like some poor family, under the ground of a poor family, there is a special, precious treasure thing. But they don't know that. But still they don't have food. They don't have clothes. If they understand under their house, under the ground of their house, there is a precious treasure, and then they will get it, and then they can solve the problems of hungry and thirsty and cold and so forth. That's where Dharmakaya is always in our mind. So we have to recognize that through meditation. That's when Milarepa said, without having gone, one reaches Buddha's stage. So without, which means without having gone means we don't want to walk. We don't want to travel to search Buddha's stage. Just meditate, then we will reach the Buddha's stage. And then Milarepa said, without having looked, one sees the Dharmakaya at that time. So without look means we have to understand our nature state of mind and the Dharmakaya are same. Look means fixation. We have fixation. Oh, this is Dharmakaya. This is ordinary mind. This is good. This is bad. This is right. This is wrong. And through this way, then we follow attachment and aversion. And then we have birth and death. And then we have sufferings. We have suffering. And then we have good karma and bad karma. So if we rest at ease in the natural state of mind, then there is no fixation. If there is no fixation, everything is Dharmakaya. So right now, Buddha skillfully taught us Dharma Dhatu and Dharmakaya separately, because for the sake of understand. So, but Dharmakaya and Dharma Dhatu are same. Emptiness, great emptiness. Dharma Dhatu, Dharmakaya, they are same. So they all in our mind. They all in our mind. And then we say meditate. Meditate has different types of meditations. Meditate through effort. Meditate through effortlessly. So first, of course, we meditate through effort, diligence, and then we gain great experiences, and then we can meditate without effort. So that's when Milarepa said, without having made in effort, one accomplishes spontaneous presence. So these usually we are how to say uh, we have big hope to attain Buddhahood, but most of time we are uh, mm, how to say we act opposite things. We act for how to say cause of samsara, uh, because we follow afflictive emotions and we cultivate negative karmas. So then our hope and actions become opposite. So we have to understand that and always apply mindfulness. Yidam, usually we say yidam or yidam. Yidam means mindfulness. If we have mindfulness, we have yidam. Lord Jigten Sungkung says, if you are skilled mindfulness, then you have great meditation. So these great Mahasiddhas, they see yidams directly because they always apply mindfulness. And then diligence. So today we are, our topic is diligence, then how it is important and how to practice diligence. It mentioned very clearly. So I will read and then explain. So if you have this book, page number 190, 15, the perfection of diligence. The synopsis for the perfection of diligence is: the perfection of diligence is summarized as sevenfold. Reflections on the drawbacks of its absence and the benefits of its practice. This its nature, its different aspects, the essential characteristics of each aspect, how it can be increased, how it can be made pure, and its fruits. These are the sevenfold. To explain the first, reflection on the drawbacks of its absence and the benefits of its practice. This is the first, Even though possessing the qualities of generosity and so forth. So forth is the discipline. So I already explained generosity, perfection of generosity, and perfection of discipline. Now this third is the perfection of diligence. So if we possessed the qualities of generosity and discipline, then without diligence, then what happened? It says a person devoid of diligence will waste their time. When time is wasted, virtue is not accomplished. There is no ability to benefit others, and enlightenment is not attained. Therefore, the questions of Sigaramarti Sutara says, a person who wastes their time is without generosity, moral discipline, forbearance, meditative concentration, and wisdom. A person who wastes their time performs no actions to benefit others. For a person who wastes their time, enlightenment is far, exceedingly far. So, in the Vajrayana, Suttarayana practice, we say 6 perfections. All of our practices are included, the 6 perfections. So, diligence is the principle of perfection. So, if we, when we practice generosity, it is related diligence. Practice generosity means, of course, we give some material things and food and so forth. And also, practice generosity means we offering to the yadams and Buddhas and gurus and so forth. And also, for example, practice generosity means we, through physically, we do prostrations or circumambulate or keep 7 meditation postures or another some these yogas and so practice yogas of 6 yogas of Naropa or 6 yogas of Nigma. Nigma is a great India, and it's during the Naropa they were there, how to say, same time there, and then through speech we recite Buddha's suttaras like heart suttaras and other sadhanas, or recite mantras. Or another way is keep silence. If we keep silence, then we avoid meaningless speech, harsh words, and so forth. And then through the generosity, through mind means practice compassion, generate bodhicitta. They are the special generosities. And then same, so all of these practices are related diligence. And then discipline. Discipline means in the Suttarayana we call discipline. In the Vajrayana we call samaya. So discipline, samaya are extremely important. Vows, important, extremely important vows. If we are going to keep these vows, we really want possess diligence, because the vows are not only for a few days. We should keep vows until we become enlightened. So in these some vows, actually these upasaka vows, we say since from today until tomorrow sunrise, we say that, but still we should keep, we can keep these vows until we become enlightened. So we should keep these vows. If we are going to keep these vows without diligence, it's so hard. And then in the mundane activities, worldly activities, also diligence is very important. That everybody know. So you know much better than me. So I think I don't want to explain more about that. And then also, if we are going to attain Buddhahood, then we need diligence. Then why? maybe if you have this question, we have many proofs. For example, Shakyamuni Buddha, he kept diligence for 30 countless eons. If you think, oh, this is unfathomable, and then come back, Naropa undertaking hardship, it's 24 steps. Grade 12 undertaking hardship, and another 12 undertaking hardships. And still you think, oh, this is many centuries ago, it's so difficult to believe. And then we should see Milarepa. So Milarepa was during the 12th century, between end of 12th century and beginning of 13th century. So how much he applied diligence. So then he had great result. And then same like other masters. For example, Je Tsongkhapa, he practiced the mandala in the Hundo practice 1800,000. So we do practice mandala 100 times, 100,000. It's not easy to accomplish. Yeah, and Je Tsongkhapa accumulated 1800,000. So we should think like this. And then Kunchen Longchen Ramjam, and Nima, great Nima master, they retreat. At the same time, they wrote many volumes for the benefit of us. That's where Kunchen Longchen Pa's a single sentence can change our mind. It's really amazing. Really amazing. So now we have Buddha nature. Kunchen Longchen Pa's Buddha nature, Je Tsongkhapa's Buddha nature, Gypsy Malarepa's Buddha nature, and our Buddha nature has no different. Their Buddha nature is Dharmakaya, our Buddha nature is Dharmakaya. And then their eyes, ears, nose, and our these five senses has no different. Even right now, sometimes I think we have a great merit because the blessings of our gurus and then our merits. Right now, if we really try to become enlightened in this life, even for few years, we have facilities more than Milarepa. Milarepa follow gurus. He followed 10 more gurus. But he should travel to many mountains, cross the many rivers. He has no car. He has no airplane. And at that time, Dharma, they did not receive easily. They could not receive Dharma easily. Because at that time, Dharma flourished in Tibet, pretty new. So that's where people should know, Dharma practitioners should know the value of Dharma. If you just give whoever listening Dharma, and then they will not give value. So that's where they have to offer many gold to their spiritual masters. For example, Marpa, he collected many gold. And his relative, Marpa Ngolai, he said, Marpa, you collected many gold, but your clothes is very old. Why are you wear these clothes? I will buy for you new clothes. Marpa said that I collect this gold not for myself. It's for Dharma to offer Naropa. And then his main purpose is to bring these teachings from India to Tibet. And then he said, I wear these old clothes because my guru Naropa gave me many path instructions. Through these clothes, seems at that moment he wear that clothes. That's why he gave like this value. So anyhow, in ancient time, for example, Jetsong Kapa travel from Amdo to Uzang. At that time, Amdo to Uzang is very, very difficult to travel from Amdo to Uzang. It's very far because of no cars and no aeroplanes. And then there were many empty places, and there were many wild animals, and so forth. Same like many these masters, they follow. Some masters follow many gurus. For example, this 37 way of a Bodhisattva writer followed. He followed 40 gurus. So they receive Dharma through undertaking hardship. In brief, they applied great diligence. So now we have their blessings, and we have amazing gurus, and then we have great merit. That's where if we really will not waste our time, then we have a great opportunity to attain Buddhahood. That's where we should keep diligence. This is important. And then the possession of diligence, the opposite of wasting time, prevents all the bright qualities from becoming tainted and fosters their increase. The verse summary of the perfection of wisdom says, through diligence, the bright qualities will not become tainted, and the Buddha's treasure of infinite, pristine awareness will be found. Only through diligence. Furthermore, someone endowed with diligence will be able to get across the mountain, that is, the ego view of the perishable composite. Thus, the ornament of Mahayana Sutara says, through diligence, someone goes beyond the perishable composite and is liberated. Moreover, if someone possesses diligence, the attainment of enlightenment will be rapid. Therefore, the ornament of Mahayana Sutara says, through diligence, one will become supremely enlightened as a Buddha. The questions of Sugara Marti Sutara also says, see, if even you listen carefully, this most of these are the Sutara, Buddha's teachings. So you can, if usually if you would like to read some Sutaras, it's quite hard. I don't know. Recently, maybe they translated in English. Otherwise, if you cannot read in Tibetan and other languages, it's quite hard. So that's where you get many sutaras. So you can hear many sutaras through this jewel ornament teaching. The questions of Sugaramarti Sutara also says, ultimate, totally pure, and perfect enlightenment is not difficult for those who practice diligence. Why is this? Sugaramarti, whoever has diligence has enlightenment. The questions of Purna Sutara says in a similar vein, it will not be difficult for enlightenment to come to one who constantly exerts diligence. So, Buddha's stage, as I mentioned this morning, Buddha's stage is very close or very near us, but between Buddha's stage and our mind, there is many mountains. So these mountains are ego view, the ego view. We always think I is important. Honestly, we don't say that I is important. Sometimes we don't particularly think I is important, but voluntarily we feel that I is important. If it is, then we are right, but it isn't. Because when we have a strong I, we have a strong problem. Bodhicitta is like water, warm water. In this warm water falls some snowflakes, it melts, and this water becomes bigger and bigger. And then ego's mind is like a cold place. If there were some snowflakes, they become frozen. So that's where, if we have bodhicitta in our mind, do we have other problems? Definitely. If we are great practitioners, we have great obstacles that we should know. But we can melt all these great problems through bodhicitta, through bodhicitta mind. So we should know that how to melt. If we know that, then we can melt them. If we cannot melt them, how to melt them? We cannot melt them. So that's where, when Buddha was under the Buddha tree, there were some village kids or children came to the Buddha, and they brought some orange. And then Buddha started to skin off, or how to say? Peel, sorry. Peel. Sometimes my words is little serious. Yeah, skin off. Oh, you think. So then Buddha taught how to act step by step through the mind, not only through fingers. Yeah. And then Buddha said, if you do this through, however, if you, what's a peel the orange skin, and you take or eat orange through your mindfulness, you will understand, you will be understand the many interdependence, which means if there is a single orange, we think, oh, there is only orange, that's all. But that's not true. That orange established by thousands of cows. that orange related water elements, fire elements, wind elements, and earth elements, and other branches of elements. So then uh, uh, through this way we we will we will be understand cause and effect. We don't call karma, okay, cause and effect. If we understand cause and effect through that way, and then we will understand interdependence, very subtle interdependence. If we understand subtle interdependence, we will be able to understand emptiness. Right now, we just focus, oh, there is an orange, that's all. Then we just label it's good orange, not good orange. It's your, it's mine. That's all. But if we generally, during the four thoughts practice, we meditate impermanent. Most of practitioners think impermanent means negative, everything lost, or death, or something like that. It's mentioned lots of negative things. They think like that. But this is how generally we explain. But we bring this practice with feeling and bring this practice in the mind. Not like that. As I mentioned, if I lost my precious thing, I think, oh, it is impermanent. So I have a great friend who solved this problem. Maybe I was not able to get that back, but lost is not a problem. If I have very good friends, if some case separated with that friend, also think impermanent. So these part are like in the schools have how to say, I forgot, that's like secular anyhow. And then another way is the realization of impermanent. We gain first we found a single orange, but then we found many cause or conditions there, and then we found, we say, oh, this is interdependence. To understand interdependence is very important. That's where great Nyingma master praised to Lord Jigten Sungkung. He said, you are the master of interdependence. Every morning we recite, during Thara practice we recite it, in the yellow book, open prayer book. So if we understand interdependence, and then we will be able to understand emptiness. So that's where practice impermanent is very, very important practice. So we don't look down, or this is a very small practice, and so and then if we gain the authentic emptiness, this is non-duality. Authentic emptiness is non-duality. But if we misunderstand about emptiness, then emptiness means zero, nothing. And then it's very possible we say, oh, there's no karma, cause and effect. But if we really recognize origin, authentic emptiness, then we trust more in karma, cause and effect. Because Lord Jigten Sungkung said in Buddha's single intention, if one recognized emptiness, one trusts more in karma, cause and effect. We should know that. And then Milarepa said, if one recognizes emptiness, one can arise great compassion. So why they say like that? Actually, in a few times I mentioned about that. So, for example, if I gain the realization of emptiness in front of me, then some they don't recognize emptiness, and they trust material things, and they follow grasping, and then we can generate compassion. From my side, oh, this is not real. These are children's game. These are not true, but they think this is real. This is real true. That's why, like our parents take care of us when we were kids. When we were kids or child, at that time, if we have some small things, we thought that is real, that is important. We lost that, we cried, yeah. But parents, they don't give special value for that children's chores or something like that, but they give value children's feeling. Likewise, we say we should generate compassion without reason. Is quite hard. Oh, this is a way of practice. Just we think like that. But if we think, oh, these beings are our mother thinking beings. However, if they experience suffering, I experience suffering are same. At least we need this feeling. So now I understand emptiness, but they are not yet. So that's where if I not help them, then who will help them? So this is the right time to help them. If we think like that, then our compassion, we can say our compassion is authentic compassion. The second, the nature of diligence. So we say diligence. So what is nature of diligence? It is to delight in virtue. It's very simple, but it's very profound. It is a profound delight in virtue. So practice Dharma, we are going to practice joyfully, because through Dharma practice, we can transform samsara into nirvana, ordinary mind into dharmakaya. We can transform ordinary life into Buddha. So we should know that. For example, His Eminence Gachin Rinpoche said, frequently said that, very often said that, if you have refugee vow, you can practice like that. You can do like this. So at that time, he gives us greater value, because we have refugee vow. Refugee vow means a virtue. So sometimes we have different problems because of degenerated time, but we should remember about refugee vow, and we should be happy. Oh, I have these wonderful or profound teachings. I receive those wonderful, profound teachings, and think, and then keep happy. After, what should you do is, I have very interesting to help others. I have great enthusiasm to help others. I'm going to help others. You should think, if you have like that, then it says is to delight in virtue. and also it's same actually mundane way activities is quite similar. If we have interesting, we are less tired. So during the Dharma practice, we should practice happily. During the Dharma teaching, we should teach happily. Happily means, oh, this is my responsibility. This is my job, so I I don't like, but I do. Not like this. We should do, if we can liberate a single person from suffering. Suffering means samsara. Then it is great. Our life is becoming meaningful life. Meaningful life is wonderful life. If we cannot liberate a single person from samsara, but if we can liberate for 1 hour from suffering, then this is a great job. So during our practice, during the retreat, during accumulate mantras, anytime we try to do joyfully, or keep enthusiasm, then that means we have perfection of diligence. That means we possess perfection of diligence. Thus, the compendium of higher knowledge says, what is diligence? It is the antidote to waste time, for it makes one's mind to take a genuine delight in virtue. The commentary on the Ornament of Mahayana Sutara also says, to take utter delight in virtue presents its essential nature. When it refers to the antidote to wasting time is opposite, is threefold. 1. Wasting time is idleness. Thank you. Wasting time is underestimating potential. And 3, wasting time in the form of lowly pursuits. Okay? Wasting time as idleness means being attached to the pleasures of letting the mind drift through sleep, idling in bed, and lounging around. These are to be given up. Why give them up? Because there is no time for such thing in this life. It is said, monks, your cognition will dim, your life will be cut off, and your life drive will be lost. Even the teachers doctrining will disappear for certain. Why would you not practice with diligence and influencing discipline? So the wasting time as idleness. So this is as here says, we like sleep, or we have interesting to do nothing. So these are also how to say, it wastes our time, especially it wastes our precious time. So whenever we have like this, then we have to understand that we have how to say this wasting time is idleness. In Tibetan called nyomle. Nyomle means like a kind of half sleep or some. We don't have interesting to practice or learning or reflecting or meditating. Then a guide to the Bodhisattva way of life says too, while death is sweetly encouraging, say again, encouraging, I must gather the accumulations. So, yeah, if we understand all phenomena neither come nor go, then there is no birth, there is no death. At that time, we have no suffering. As it says in prayer of Kunduzambo, then we have no hope, we have no fear, we have no doubt. But we do not recognize that all phenomena neither come nor go, then we have birth and we have death. So death, when it comes, we don't know. Nobody knows. Because if we don't have other disease, but sometimes, as Nagarjuna said, he said that in the letters to friend, he said that sometimes medicines become cause of death. Sometimes foods became cause of death. So then after death, everything becomes like a blank, nothing, becomes empty space. This is okay, but right now we say we have lots of thoughts. We cannot meditate for 1 hour. Even we meditate 1 hour at that time moment, yeah, we have lots of thoughts, yeah. But after death means actually like a sleeping. After sleeping, we start to get dreams. In the dreams, sometimes we have very serious dreams, and we have lots of fear, and lots of fear, and scaries, or we experience very dangerous situations. Likewise, in the bardo, our mind becomes very sensitive, and then we see a lot of strange things. We hear lots of strange sounds. We experience lots of strange things. So we were not able to understand, oh, this is a bardo, this is illusion, this is a delusion, this is illusory. We cannot understand at that time. Exactly right now we say, oh, there is a drum, this is real, or there is some other things, they are real. Similarly, in the bardo, we feel same thing. Whatever we hear, whatever we feel, whatever we experience, everything we think, everything are true. Everything is true. That's where then we have lots of sufferings and problems. So we, in short, we're not sure when death comes to us. So before it comes to us, we try to understand Bardo is illusory thing, illusory form. Best thing is whatever appears in the Bardo, we should be as like in the temple. Right now we are in the temple, we look four directions. We see yidams, tankas, yeah? Likewise, after death, we should enter in the Bardo. We make the Bardo Ram is like a temple. Wherever we look, yidams. And then every sound becomes mantras. So these idams come to us for helping. They lead us nirvana. So right now, if we do, we are not late. So we have to practice. So join practice through diligence, joyfully, enthusiastically practice. That's where Shantideva said that while death is sweetly encouraging, I must gather the accumulations. Someone may think that it will be all right to gather the accumulations of virtue and wisdom at the time of death, but then that time comes, there will be no freedom to establish anything. As it says, also there is a special way to training the dream. Some maybe in previous lives they trained. That's why in this life they easily understand, oh, this is dream when they are dreaming. But most of us, we cannot if we don't training that. But after sleep, we have some dreams. Then we experience that they are real things, yeah, real situation. So likewise in the Bardo we get same thing. So before we enter Bardo, now we are going to practice that how to say. However, we try to free from Bardo. We try to free from in this life. We try to free from lover arms. So if we try to do it, then right now we can do. So especially in the spiritual path instructions, it says, if you are going to become Buddha, if you are going to become enlightened instantaneously, you can. So it doesn't say if you practice in the future many lives later, then you will become Buddha. It does not say. If it says like that, then we are quite hard to practice, or still we have time to practice. But death is, we're not sure when death comes to us, and this is number one. Another is if right now we practice, right now we can attain Buddhahood. So these two very significant situations. Our life is between these very how to say two special situation or conditions. So we try to improve our practice is very important. As it says, at death, even if you were to stop wasting time, what is the point? For it is too late. You may feel falsely confident, thinking that somehow death will not happen before you have completed your accumulation of virtue, that is an unreliable notion. As is said, it is wrong to feel so confident. My death will not wait for me to finish the things I have to do. As far as this ephemeral life is concerned, it matters not whether I am sick or healthy. Yeah, so it happens. Many people they make great plans, plan, and they say, "Oh, next year I will do this, and next month I will do this," and they eh, make great plans, but then death comes to them, and then their plan become like a daydream. So something I checked doctor, so I have no disease. But then some have some disease, but who will dead first? We're not sure. It's really happened in my life. I know someone sick almost whole life, but some does not. But it happened really many times. Even they are same family. So for example, there were two brothers. One brother always sick. He always takes medicines. Then another brother, he takes care of him and his family. And then another brother is also younger than him, but then he passed away first, So we're not sure who will dead first. So we don't have confidence to say I'm sick or I am not sick. Yeah. This being the case, you might ask, how then do I eliminate wasting time through idleness? You should relinquish it as you would react to a snake that had slithered onto your lap, or if your hair were on fire. Thus, guide to the Bodhisattva way of life says, just as you would hurriedly jump up if a snake came onto your lap. So, in ancient Mahasiddhas, they do retreat. They do retreat a very remote place in the mountain cave. But then what they do, then in front of mountain caves, there are some thorns, plants, and they come out, or they go out and come back. Their Dharma ropes captured by these plants. They thought of, I'm going to cut those plants, but then they rethought. Oh, I'm not sure I will die tomorrow or a moment later. Even I'm not sure during I'm cutting these plants I will die or not. That's why it's better to practice, not cut these plants, something like that. They do like that. So if we cannot do like this, if we cannot go to the mountain, remote place, if we cannot stay in the mountain caves, but we try to stay in the caves of Bodhicitta, and we try to keep diligence. So because we have same purpose or same hope, those Mahasiddhas also they have hope to attain Buddhahood. Now we are practice Dharma. Why? Because we have great hope to attain Buddhahood. Yeah. If to Bodhisattva level, okay, the Ashayamati Sutara also says the Bodhisattva does not seek enlightenment. Am I there? Sorry, I print the letters. Oh, sorry, here. So when sleep and idleness come along, sweetly contract them. And the letter to our friend says, if your hair or clothes suddenly catch fire, you do everything possible to put out the blaze. Strive just as much to extinguish for future uncontrolled rebirth. Nothing else is as important as that. I think the snake come to the lap. This example, if you are very much scared about snake, this example helps you a lot. But if your hair burned by fire, it's a good example, I think, for everybody. So if there's the fire burns over here, definitely first we try to remove this fire. Yeah. Likewise, we are try to remove our obscurations, the afflictive emotions and obscurations, because our Buddha nature covered by these two obscurations. Then next, wasting time as underestimating potential refers to a defeatist attitude whereby you feel, how could a lowly person like me ever achieve enlightenment, even were I to make great efforts? Such discouragement is unnecessary. In fact, the waste of potential caused by such an attitude needs to be annihilated. Those who wonder why such discouragement is unnecessary should take heart from the scripture that says, if they develop the power of diligence, even bees, flies, mosquitoes, or any insect whatsoever will achieve enlightenment so hard to attain. That being the case, how could one like me, born human and knowing what is beneficial and what is harmful, not achieve enlightenment, provided I do not abandon the Bodhisattva conduct? So wasting time is underestimating. So you should keep these three kind of laziness. So these wasting time as underestimating potential. This means you think, I don't know this correct or not, unimportant thing or important thing. So most important thing is try to attain Buddhahood. But we think some mundane activities are very important. These are the first job. Of course, we certainly cannot give up mundane activities, but we also we don't want to give up mundane activities. But what should we do is these mundane activities try to transform into accumulating merit. So we don't want to give them up, give them away, but we try to transform into merit. So our action is same. Like, for example, before eat or drink something, we recite some prayers. That means we cannot stop to drink water, for example. Without water, we cannot live. So, but before drink water, out loud or in the mentally recite some offering, at least to say Om Ahum before drink. Just to say in the mentally, for example. Then this drinking transform into virtue. Yeah. Likewise, so we don't want to stop these mundane activities or give them away, but we try to transform into virtue. If we do like that, then our mundane activities may not become wasting time as underestimating potential, something like that. Otherwise, yeah. So then next, wasting time through lowly pursuit means involvement in non-virtuous activities such as overcoming enemies, amassing possessions, and the like, as those are very real cause of suffering. They are to be abandoned. This when we have, oh, of course, Bodhisattvas, they can do because they are Bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas, you can greatly benefit all mothers and human beings because you are Bodhisattvas. I am ordinary being, I can't do. If we think like that, that means wasting time through lowly pursuits. Generally, we don't want self-pride. And we don't want strong egoistic mind or grasping. But for benefit others, we always should keep courage. Why not? Bodhisattvas, some bodhisattvas, they don't have material things because they dedicated everything. But then they dedicated their organs, their eyes. There are many stories. So they have this courage. Some they offer the fingers like a candlelight. They tied very strongly the nail here, and then outside of there they're covered by the cotton, I think, cotton, and then pull their butter, and then they make it fire. It's burned like a candlelight. So there's some bodhisattvas greatly they did. But if we can't do, I think we can't do, and right now it's okay without do like that. But what should we do is we should let on, turn on our Dharma wisdom. And then our bodhicitta is like a how to say, oil or butter. So this bodhicitta and then wisdom union, we can benefit other beings and we can purify our true obscurations. Mm. Then and then, as I mentioned this morning, mindfulness. If there are some wind of attachment and aversion comes, aversion come to the wisdom light with bodhicitta butter of bodhicitta, oil of bodhicitta, then mindfulness. Always apply mindfulness to avoid these obstacles. Third, the different aspect of diligence. Diligence is threefold. Armor like diligence. Yeah, armor, everybody knows. Armor means it protects. We have diligence, it protects. It protects from dangerous situation. Apply diligence. Apply diligence means actually we do it. Don't make plan. I will do it tomorrow. I will do it next month. I will do it next year. And then our life is, since we were born or birth, maybe born. Yeah. Our life is step by step close towards next life. So, but it's opposite. We create lots of things for live or living. But our life is going. So, yeah. But we practice Dharma continually. It's important. And insatiable diligence. Insatiable diligence. The first is the most excellent attitude. The second is the most excellent activity. The third is what carries the first two through to their conclusions. It's beautiful, yeah? So always we cultivate karma. First, we cultivate karma is like that. First we think and then act. So karma means that, yeah? If we cultivate negative karma, first we think and then act. If we cultivate good karma, first we think and then act. So the fourth point develops the essential characteristics of each aspect. First, you wear the armor like diligence of the attitude from this moment onward and until every sentient being has been established in highest enlightenment. I will never lay aside diligence in virtue. It is said in the Bodhisattva collection, Shariputara. Shariputara is who stand up the right side of Buddha. Wear these as inconceivable armor until the furthermost end of samsara, whatever it may be, and never relax your diligence dedicated to enlightenment. The Sutara teaching the wearing of armor also says, Bodhisattvas should wear such armor in order to gather beings to them, since the number of beings is incalculable. The time for wearing of the armor should likewise be limitless. So it's a bodhisattvas should wear such armor. So we always think, oh, great bodhisattvas like Vajrapani, Chinreze, Manjushri. In this case, bodhisattva, we all bodhisattvas. We should think that because we received bodhisattva's vow. So we generally, if we think, oh, I'm bodhisattva, I'm a great person, I'm a special person, this is not good, but it's ready to benefit other beings. We should think, I'm bodhisattva because I received bodhisattva's vow, so of course I'm going to help others. And then through help others, if some material things we share, give in front of our eyes, they exhaust, they finish. But through Dharma way, how much we benefit others, our merit increase like a waxing moon. So how much we benefit others, we have a great benefit. So that's why we say, may I benefit all mother thinking beings. First we think they all mother and then all of these beings. Can we benefit them directly or not? We can, but the main benefit is when we think all mother thinking beings, at that time our mind becomes immeasurable love or immeasurable compassion. Our mind becomes immeasurable love. At that time, our mind becomes empty space. If our mind becomes like empty space, in this empty space there are 5 elements. 5 elements, water and fire, are opposite. They are fighting in the empty space, but it cannot damage empty space. Likewise, in our mind or in our circumstance have many problems, but our mind is very relaxed, at ease. And then we apply meditation like a clarity, luminosity, and then in the empty space there is the brilliant sun. So the brilliant sun and empty space have relation. Likewise, in our mind becomes immeasurable love, and then we arise the wisdom or pristine awareness in the mind. Then samsara, then this is end of samsara actually. Then there is no samsara. When can we make end this samsara? Actually we say endless samsara. That is true because endless of mother thinking beings. Samsara is not outside of us. Samsara is in the mind. When we have afflictive emotions, at that moment we have samsara. When we have immeasurable love and compassion, that moment our mind is nirvana. So, okay, then where are we? The Akshayamati Sutta also says the Bodhisattva does, okay, best. Bodhisattva's level says, if to liberate one single being from suffering, I must abide in hell from 1,000 eons. So courage means like that. We recite Om Vajra Tibet say Om Bazaraya, Om Bazar Sato, Samaya. So what is the meaning of Sato? Sato means great courage, encouragement. I can benefit. I can only not, I can stay here. Behind has great fabrics, in front have great fabrics, and you give me water and this heater when I get cold, it's heat, I have fans, not like that. I can go very dangerous place for benefit and I can dedicate myself. So Bodhisattvas has like this great courage, yeah. So hero, we say, Manjushri, you are the hero. What is the hero? Because Manjushri defeated his all this seed of ignorance, cause of samsara. But he not only defeated his ignorance, but he come to us through different ways. Even during the Yamitaka. Yamitaka is in the Yamitaka means Manjushri. Yeah. So Manjushri appears as Yamitaka for benefit of beings. Because you like to practice, you don't like to practice Manjushri, but you like to practice Yamitaka. It's okay. It is not a negative motivation because we have a dualistic perception. So Manjushri comes as Yamitaka, Manjushri comes as Dharma books. Manjushri comes as our wisdom. So that's why we say hero. Manjushri, he attained Buddhahood many eons ago. Many eons ago. I shared a couple of years ago about the life story of Manjushri. So he became Dharmakaya many eons ago, but he come to us anyhow. He come to us as our guru. He comes to us as our Dharma friends and Dharma books and practices. So that's why we say hero. Manjushri, you are the hero, yeah? Then the liberate a single that fills me with joy. It does not matter how much or how little time it takes, or how much or how little suffering it involves. Such an attitude is the Bodhisattva's armor like diligence. So armor like diligence means for the benefit of others, I can afford. Milarepa, he has many sessions for during before he become enlightened. We say only daytime we have different sessions. Yeah, morning before breakfast, I wake up, I meditate on recitation, Vajra recitations, and then I do my meditation for a little while, and then I recite morning my recitations, and then take breakfast, and then do other some like a smoke offerings. Something we have schedules on the daytime pretty okay morning, and then before go to sleep I meditate, and then recite my recitations, and then sleeping like something. Remember my yidams and gurus and sleep like that. But then the whole night we are sleep. So sleep is actually part of laziness. Yeah, today we know. It's that Milarepa said that in the night he has many sessions, whole night. Of course, daytime. That's where Milarepa, Gampopa came to Milarepa, and Gampopa received all unfathomable teachings, profound teachings from Milarepa, And then Milarepa said, okay, it's okay, you should go back and you can benefit other beings, something like that. And then the Milarepa, it's what is called, it's anyhow, then last Milarepa showed his bottom to Gambopa. I meditate my bottom like until my bottom becomes like that. So you also should do same thing. So Milarepa gave these path instructions. I think everybody knows if I almost talk about that. So Milarepa meditate whole day and then whole night. So if we can't do like that much, but we should try to wear the armor of diligence. At least we try to keep these words and remember. This is very important. It's really a benefit for me when I studied Dharma. Sometimes suddenly it doesn't benefit me, but some case I keep it in the mind, repeat it through my mind. The years later or months later, they help a lot. So then second, apply diligence has three aspects: diligence in getting rid of affliction, diligence in accomplishing virtue, and diligence in working for the welfare of others. First, for the first, diligence in getting rid of affliction, it is the afflictions, desire, and so forth, as well as the actions they motivate that are the root of suffering. Therefore, to put a stop to its arising, a correspondingly prolonged action that is both specific and global is needed. Guide to the Bodhisattva way of life says, amid the hordes of the amazed afflictions, keep your stance firm in 1,000 ways, like a lion among foxes. Do not let the hosts of the afflictions injure you. As I said, we became familiar with the afflictive emotions. So that's why now it's so difficult to purify them. These great practitioners, they became familiar with bodhicitta and compassion and meditate on non-duality. That's where they are, even some afflictive emotions arise in their mind, they utilize those emotions for practice Dharma, like a firewood. Put on the fire, this fire becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. Likewise, if those emotions arises, then they utilize that to increase their wisdoms. And those great practitioners have some facing problems. They never lose under these problems. What they do, they learn, they utilize their suffering, and then they utilize those experiences for increase their compassion. Yeah, increase their compassion. That's where they have a great compassion. So usually we say Avalokiteshvara. We try to see Avalokiteshvara. We look at the pictures and we look at the so forth. But the principal thing is we should arise compassion. If we try to arise compassion in our mind, we become Avalokiteshvara. If we see Avalokiteshvara is important, or we become Avalokiteshvara is important. We, of course, second, we become Avalokiteshvara is very important. So otherwise we visualize Avalokiteshvara frequently, and then it appears. But it is become like a picture in our mobile phone. We have no kind of feeling, no more feelings. So it is quite hard to greatly benefit. Of course, it is a great thing, a great result of visualization, but we try to become Avalokiteshvara ourselves. So that's why we arise compassion. First, we should give a value of compassion, and then we keep diligence and wear armor of diligence, because opposite of compassion is what? Compassionless. No compassion. If some animals have problems, sufferings, we have no compassion. So if we wear the armor of diligence, then we can effortlessly can generate compassion. Naturally arises compassion from our mind. So is there in fact some example of the vigilance and discipline that are needed? It is said, most of the time it is said is sutara, okay? One observing the discipline should be as vigilant as a terrified person carrying a pot full of mustard oil, while being held as sword point, threatened with death should drop the spells. There are many examples. As Milarepa said, the pristine awareness of mind, if you recognize pristine awareness of mind, there is no examples, no metaphors, which means for yourself, because everything are like an empty space. But if you don't recognize the pristine awareness or intrinsic awareness, then everything's are examples. But in this case, we have many examples because for make sense. Because especially we should people should understand what is the principal meaning. So that's where there are many examples. And I think you will understand through these examples. And then second, diligence in accomplishing virtue involves striving hard in the practice of the 6 perfections without any regard for life or physical well-being. How to strive by means of 5 aspects of diligence. Number 1, continuous diligence. Continuous. This is important. Continuous. If we accumulate non-virtue, sometimes we say some very sinful non-virtue, which means we repeatedly or continually we act through negative action or malicious thought, then these non-virtues become very strong. The opposite, maybe opposite of that is if we repeatedly practice bodhicitta, compassion, or other meditations, then our virtues become very powerful. So this is number 1, continued diligence. Number 2, enthusiastic diligence. That's we already say. If we don't have enthusiastic, if we don't have, even if we learn, for example, languages or other things, if we have interesting, we will understand. Our human beings have human intelligence is very unique actually. I always think that because, for example, right now we are Dharma practitioners. Through human intelligence, we can attain Buddhahood. We can make ourselves our Buddhas. We can make ourselves our Yadam. We can make ourselves our Guru. Yeah. So that is the power of human intelligence. And then in the mundane ways, like these very amazing things created by human intelligence. So, but enthusiasm is very important. Then number 3, unshakable diligence. Unshakable diligence is that we meditate practice for a few years. There is some master said that if you you went to the Heda, for example, for the Buddhist university, and suddenly you have big hope, I should become scholar for a few months, and then day and night you keep diligent, but after a few months you will not become if you will not become scholar, and then you give up. So if you do like that, then you cannot establish. So that's where here say unshakable diligence, especially during the practice, as I mentioned this morning, during the retreat, practice, study, Dharma. Seems we have lots problems. Before I don't have like that problem. I did not have these obstacles, but I started to practice retreat. I have lots of these obstacles. Why? Sometimes we feel like that. At that time, we should keep going, diligence. And the reason is that the main reason during we practice, for example, if I have a wound and on my hand, I go to the doctor, and the doctor try to help me to recover this wound. Start to wash or work something, I start to pain. Yeah. Likewise, we start to practice retreat. Then sometimes we have some obstacles, which means we start to reduce these obstacles, these maras. They are always hidden in our mind. So we start to purify them through wisdom light. They start to act. That's where we feel some obstacles. So unshakable diligence is extremely necessary. And diligence is remaining undeterred. Yeah, this is also same like, I cannot practice Buddhist Chitta because I cannot benefit all mother thinking beings. If you think like that, then it's incorrect. So any case, anytime practice and humble diligence. Yeah, this no. Continued diligence means working uninterruptedly of these clouds of Jules Sutara says, since Bodhisattva apply diligence to every aspect of their daily lives, nothing can make them regret their acts of body or mind. Such application is known as a Bodhisattva's continuous diligence. Enthusiastic diligence means acting joyfully, appreciatively. It's beautiful words, yeah. Appreciatively and repeatedly. As it is said, since this task must be completed, plunge into it, like an elephant scorched by the midday sun plunges into a pool. Pools. Unshakable diligence means not being distracted from the task by impediments due to thoughts, afflictions, or suffering. Yeah. Diligence as remaining undeterred means not being deterred by witnessing others' violence, brutishness, aggressiveness, degenerate views. Even if you listen this, you understand many Dharma words, Dharma vocabularies. Or the like, as is mentioned in the Vajra Victory Banner Sutara, humble diligence means practicing the above forms of diligence without a haughty mind. Haughty mind. So it means without pride, is it? Self-pride. Yeah. But we can make lots of efforts for benefit other beings, but we don't have self-pride. That's how smart, 3. Diligence in accomplishing the welfare of others is to make effort in the 11 fields, such as supporting activities that are unsupported, and so forth. Yeah, this is easy. 3rd, unstable diligence is striving after virtue in a way that knows no satisfaction until enlightenment is reached. Oh, I greatly benefit for few years or few weeks or few days or few hours. No, it's okay. We don't should satisfy. I mean, we should not satisfy through this way. Actually, satisfaction is very important in the mundane ways. For example, if we have one clothes, we should be happy with that. And if we have one car, we should be happy with that, for example. So then, as Buddha said, Buddha who said that is best wealth is satisfaction. So if we are dissatisfied how much we have, still we think it's not enough, not good, not, so then we have many problems. So if we should be happy with whatever we have is great, but it benefit others, then we always how to say, keep diligence, but not satisfy with those helps. I mean, we think, oh, now enough. I did a lot things for you. Now it enough for you. I don't help. If we have this thinking, then it's wrong. As it is said, if you cannot get enough of sin's pleasures, which are like honey or honey on a razor's edge, or how could you ever be satisfied by whatever peaceful, happy result ripen from virtue? Yeah, result honey is very sensitive. Yeah, even we talk about that. So these mundane pleasure things are actually like that. If we are attached to this, the problem is we cannot wear the armor diligence, because actually the practice is very important, but it's better to sleep now. I'm going to sleep, and if we sleep 5 hours, then it's kind of we waste 5 hours. But the how to sleep is important. Before sleep, you meditate your guru or yidam in the mind, or just generate compassion or bodhicitta and sleep. Then this sleep needs consciousness. During the sleeping, your consciousness transform into virtue, not transform into non-virtue, and then you get some good dreams. If you will not get good dreams, still that dream, the dream, the consciousness of a dream, so also become a virtue. But if you are falling asleep through ignorance, then during the sleep, if you will sleep 8 hours, then all this consciousness are combined with non-virtue. And then, okay, now I will read. The 5th point concerns how diligence can be increased. Yeah, it's very important. It is increased by the 3 powers taught above: pristine awareness, deep understanding, and dedication, as explained before. Actually, pristine awareness means this part is you through practice through non-duality. My practice, these sentient beings, they are non-duality, same. If you have this realization, then even you recite a single mantra, this merit never ending. So that then second, this the wisdom, it mentions wisdom or deep understanding means these mother thinking beings are illusory, all sufferings are delusion, but they don't understand. They are like a rainbows or echoes or dreams. They thought these things are real, truly exist. So then you generate compassion and so forth. And then dedication is important. If you have precious things put in a box and locked it, always exists there like that. And then the 6th point is how it can be made pure. It means diligence. This is accomplished through the 2 supports: emptiness and compassion, mentioned above. So emptiness and compassion means that these actually all phenomena are emptiness. Your body is emptiness. For example, here I recognize your body is emptiness, but you have some problem on your body, and you don't understand that. For that reasons, I generate compassion and I try to help. Something like that. So how we should benefit other beings. I have some problem on my body. You have some problem on your body. These problems are same, but I should understand those problems are emptiness. But I understand this problem is emptiness, but you don't understand this problem is emptiness. That's where I help. Something like that. So we need like that. Then where we entered above, the 7th point of the fruits of diligence is to be understood as twofold: immediate and ultimate fruits. The ultimate fruit is to attain unsurpassed enlightenment, Bodhisattva's level, says, through perfectly completing the perfection of diligence. Bodhisattvas truly become perfect Buddhas, are truly becoming perfect Buddhas, and will truly become perfect Buddhas with highest, utterly pure and perfect enlightenment. The temporary fruit consists of achieving the highest happiness for as long as one remains in samsara. Thus, the ornament of Mahayana Sutra says, through diligence, the pleasures of existence are achieved. This concludes the 15th chapter on the perfection of diligence. In this ornament of precious liberation, a wish-fulfilling gem of sublime Dharma. Okay, Thank you so much, everybody, and let us dedicate. Please erase your bodhicitta from your mind. Chancho sem jo ren je ma je ba na ji je ba nyam ba me ba ya gong de be war jo.
May bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Thank you so much. May you have a happy and long life. Thank you.